Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are okay today. Here in the UK it's very sunny, it's very warm again, so I'm sat with my door open looking out into the garden. It's beautiful, so you may be able to hear the sounds of birdies tweeting in the background. Let me just roll my sleeves up just to show that I mean business today. So it's time for the April ATC swap. Now this month, I can't remember the name, it's a new lady that I'm swapping with this month. Let me just double check, hang on. As I said, it's a new lady this month I've not swapped with before, so it's Sally. The theme for April is Hello Yellow. And why not? So as you can see, I've gone through some of my paper collections, the rusty numbers, which you can see now I've now started to cut to pieces completely. There are a few like yellow style numbers in there, which I've already cut out and I'm ready to go with. That's starting to look a bit scrabby. I've got some of the yellowish backgrounds from the Nature's Inspiration paper pad. As you can see, that's the one from the front that I've completely, there's some nice yellows in there, look. So I've gone through there and I've cut out some really nice swatches of yellow backgrounds from the Nature's Inspiration. And for some focal points, and not only have I got the numbers, but I've also dipped into my Atomic mixed media paper pad. Again, this one, there's not a lot left of this one now. It's literally just falling to pieces. And I've cut out some of the smaller pieces from the ATCs that are contained within the inside front covers, because it's time I use some of those up. So those are the main kind of bits that I've got from those collage papers. I will probably end up adding a little bit more later on. So I've got three pieces of cardstock, so these are going to be my bases for my ATCs this month. So what I want to do is I want to utilize, now I'm missing, oh there it is, I thought for a second. Right, so let's just put those there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue or cut these out to appropriate sizes, and I can't get two out of that one, can I? No, never mind. And use those as the yellowish kind of backgrounds to the main background for these ATC. And I'm just wondering what I've done, there they are, what I've done with my scissors. Because you know what it's like, you put things down, you can never find them again. Right, so what I could have done, rather than just using the papers, is I could have created a masterboard first, just using paint, stencil, that kind of stuff, with yellows and those kind of colours. I'm going to do that right in the middle, because why not? Because why not? So yeah, create a masterboard first using the paints and all that kind of thing. But I've got all these papers that really kind of like need using up, because they've been hanging around in my stash, not earning the keep. So it's time that they did. So they owe me that, at least. There we go. Let's take that down towards the bottom if we can. That's it. Try and have most of that yellow in there. And then number 3. I don't know why I turned it over, I didn't really need to. All right. So I'm not sure where Sally is in the world. I know she's here in the UK, but I don't know whereabouts. Like I said, we haven't exchanged addresses just yet. But I'm sure we will, obviously, before we're going to need to swap addresses so that we can send each other our ATCs. Right, let's get that dry and then I'll be right back. So they've all stuck down quite nicely now. So we'll just pop those to one side for a second and then we'll draw our attention to the little cutouts. I've already cut one out, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these figures out too. Be very, very careful. So this one has yellow in her blouse as well. This one has yellow in her jacket. And that one has a kind of orangey colour in her shirt or blouse or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to just quickly whiz round this lot. Alright, so that's her. Number 2. And then we'll cut her straight across like so. And then up from the sides. Again, if I feel that she's taking up too much real estate on the ATC, I may cut her down, maybe just do her up to the shoulders. I'm just wiggling the blades when I go around the hair so we don't have such a straight kind of, I don't want her hair to look like it's a crash helmet. You know what I mean. There we go. Okay, so let's just bring in those 3 ATCs and we'll test which one fits best on which. So I'm kind of going for this way around. Just the kind of way that my brain is working. I do think I ought to just cut her down a little bit. And then she needs not a lot there. Not a lot. To be honest, I'm not actually sure these need much at all as far as what else there is. Maybe these are a bit too big to go on there. Maybe they are just a little bit too big. No, I think I am going to, and I might even cut her down so she's just kind of like neck-wise. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Right, so let me glue this one off now. I want to get rid of this hole in the middle. So I don't think I've got a hole punch big enough for that. I used to have. Let's just see whether this is going to be any good. Near enough. So what I can do is I can just go around the outside, just nibbling. Look, hardly took any time at all, that, didn't it? Right. Shorter, nothing I've got me. So let's get some glue on there. And then I've got to think about a kind of quote that's going to span across all 3. that has something to do with yellow. That's one. I'm going to just cut this down a little bit more. Better. And I haven't distressed the edges of anything on here. Alright, and then we'll glue her down. I'm not going right to the bottom because, like we said, I think I'm going to cut some of that shoulder off. About there, I think, is going to be enough for her. Yes, there we go. That's not harming the composition. And then here again we'll glue. Shall we pop that hole out there as well? Let's do both top and bottom on this one. Yeah. So the numbers, as I said, are from the Rusty Numbers 6x6 ephemera book, and it's just full of them. Love it. And then our little lady here. There's so much that you can do with these books. They're very versatile. You can use them as they are, or cut them to shreds and use them across multiple. I mean, you can add these little images to envelopes, to journals, to cards, to you name it. There's absolutely loads you can do. So we've chosen to come quite far down with her then. Just trim that off. And then just bring her in a touch, because we've gone just a little bit over the edge. Now I'm going to have to cut that off because the glue's already grabbed. Hehe. Liking them, but not yet finished. Alright, I'll be back in a little while. Alright, so they're all stuck down. I have zoomed in just a little bit. I recently purchased a load of gems, sticky gems, which I haven't had in my stash for at least 10 years. So I bought a selection of lots of different colours. So what these are good for is just putting on little accents onto little pieces of artwork like this. And they don't have to be massive pieces. Like for this one, you can literally just put them in a little row of 3, and they just create a little bit of decoration without being over the top. So what I like to do with these, and what I've always done with little gems like this, is always put them in a little row of 3 somewhere on your project. And usually I like to do them towards the top. Or somewhere where it kind of balances, if it needs something to balance. But I think there is just about right, because we've got somewhere different on each one. Put those back in there. And then just to kind of like finish off all together, I wanted to add just a 1-word quote for each one, 1-word piece, which I will go over in a little while. And then just add that like so. Now what you can do, if you've got kind of like antique linen or something like that. Now I've got a yellow ink pad. I'm forgetting the words there now, look. And all I'm going to do is just grab that and a very small brush with a little bit of clean water. Actually, I probably would have been better with alcohol, but probably will actually. Alcohol will probably do it better. Let me just get rid of that. Wrong substance, wrong ink pad. That would work great if it was in distress ink pad. But it isn't, is it? That's more like it. So I'm creating a little bit kind of like an alcohol ink just by using, there we go. And it goes, depending on how much alcohol you use, depends how thin you're going to get it. And then that kind of, there we go, just wipes away. Alcohol's our best friend in so many different ways. All right, and then again, as I've said before, just to kind of finish off, I just want to go around each one of those, just to kind of give that a little bit of a border. So what I will do with this video is I will hold on to it until these have been posted to Sally and I know that she's actually received them before I release the video, because then at least it won't spoil the surprise. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create these artist trading cards for the Indigoblu April swap. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.